The saying that everything is bigger in Texas, well, Canon might be taking over that motto given the big guns they have rumored to have coming in 2024. Now, there have been tons of patents recently for big Canon lenses. Now, on top of that, there are plenty of rumors about potential cameras Canon has in store. And we're not talking about the R1 and the R5 Mark II either. Now, we're going to take a deep dive into that and other noteworthy stories in this episode of Now That's a Unique Support Animal. Now, in case you missed it, Apple released the iPhone 15 last month. And while their various models have received quite high marks so far, there has been one glaring problem. Many people reported that their phones are hot. In response, Apple has issued an updated version of the iOS 17 to take care of the problem. The new software fix, iOS 17.0.3, addresses bugs, security updates, and overheating issues, which Apple refers to as some iPhones running warmer than expected.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
Yeah, all right. Well, but anyways, the iPhone 15 overheating problem wasn't just caused by Apple's issues.
Then what was it?
Apparently, some third-party apps, most notably Instagram, caused the phones to get a little bit warm as well. Now, Meta's Instagram parent company released a update on the September 27th to rectify the issue. Now, it's worth noting that these overheating problems have not been experienced by all iPhone 15 users. Now, mine, it has been a champ so far. Now, it's also important to note that the issues seem to be entirely related to software and doesn't appear to be related to any of the new hardware that Apple is using inside the iPhone 15.
That's good news.
Now, if you still need to download the update, simply go to Settings, General, Software Update to fix the issue. Now, Canon's been on a roll lately with its lens releases, and I've said it many times before, but Canon's commitment to developing a robust lineup of RF lenses is one of the big reasons I've said it so many times why I moved from Nikon several years ago. Now, Canon apparently still has its foot on the gas in terms of lens development, as it has recently filed patents for, a lot of new lenses. In fact, the list is so long that I'm not going to bother reading it to you. Instead, I'm going to just put it on the screen here and you can see the list for yourself. Now, clearly, Canon won't produce all of these lenses. There's just simply far too much overlap between them. But we might likely see a few of these come out in the market, perhaps even some aimed at beginner photographers. Now, I say that because Canon has recently focused, no pun intended, on building out its entry-level RFS lenses in recent years, though none of these patents are for RFS glass. So perhaps, that will be on the horizon for Canon, or one of those RF lenses could find its way into the market with less of a zoom range or aperture range. But Canon hasn't just patented a bunch of telephoto zooms. Now, other patent shows a design for an electronic tilt-shift lens. The electronic part is really important because tilt-shift lenses, if you think about it, historically have had manual controls. Now, the new lens would include a four-way switch that gives you control over the degree of tilt and shift. Now, a separate toggle switch would engage the tilt-shift functionality, while a third switch would reset the whole thing.
Is this really necessary?
Now, Canon says making an electronic tilt-shift lens is necessary because of the labor-intensive nature of using manual tilt-shift lens. Now, based on the patent images, it looks like this new system would certainly make the process smoother and less time-intensive. Now, Canon also noted that the tilt-shift photography has seen increased popularity in recent years, so it's easy to see why. Some of the interesting effects of a tilt-shift lens are the miniaturization of the subject and the selective focus that you see in the images on the screen.
There is no doubt.
Why Canon, or how the timing of this patent and potential production of this lens coincides with the increasing interest of this type of photography. Now, as always, stay tuned for more updates which of these lenses actually make it to the store shelves. Now, in the past episodes, we've talked about a couple highly anticipated Canon cameras expected to be released next year. Now, those cameras would be the R1 and the R5 Mark II, but that's not all Canon is rumored to have up its sleeve. Now, Canon is apparently working on a higher-end vlogging camera to go aside with the PowerShot V10 that, if you think about that, just debuted earlier this year. Now the V10 is a entry-level rig, so it really makes sense to expand that lineup with something that would have more robust features, including improved audio and weather sealing as well. Now, rumors also are swirling about the potential for an ultra-high resolution camera called RS, which might be considered the mirrorless version of the EOS 5DS and the 5DSR DSLRs.
If you think about it.
They came back or they were announced in 2015 with their huge 50 megapixel sensors and absolutely blew everybody's expectations out of the water. Now, all sorts of theories are really floating around about the RS or what it might have underneath the hood. Now, two options that I've seen are 80 megapixel full frame sensor or a 100 megapixel medium format sensor. Now, I think the former is much more likely than the later, but I've been wrong before, like when I thought I looked cool dressed like this. Damn! Now, something else to be excited from Canon in 2024 is the possibility of a drone. So Canon filed a patent for a drone-related technology way back in March 2022. So perhaps in 2024, we're going to see, or could be the year that Canon drone takes the flight.
Yeah, baby.
Now, according to the diagrams in the patent application, the drone would have a camera that is quite similar to the PowerShot Pix, which is a AI-based camera with subject tracking, voice control, and automatic movement detection, among many other goodies with it. Now, of course, I mean, let's be real here. Let's set the stage here and remind these are just rumors. So there's nothing set in stone here. I mean, it's fun to be able to fantasize about what might be on the horizon, and not just for Canon, but for photography industry in whole. So, I mean, what are you most excited about seeing from the photography industry in the coming year? Drop a comment down below and let's discuss. And hey, while you're at it, I'd appreciate that you hit that like button. Show your support for the video and the channel, and yeah, so until next time.